Let's go to studio, content, live, copy. And... Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Hope you can hear me. Today we have some giveaways to finish the year off, and hopefully they get to you as the year starts so you can start 2026 with a great new Dumbphone. And this is our live last stream of the year. Really excited about it. And I hope it's going to be helpful for a lot of you to answer your questions and, get kind of everything going on. Let me make sure that everything is working. I don't know if everything got published. Let's see, reload. Yes, we're live. I believe so. So it should be good. And yeah, I mean, I don't expect tons of you to be here. I know there's a lot of you that are today on the kind of like vacation and, that kind of stuff. That's important. Probably next time I'll try to do these a little bit earlier. Let's see, the live draw for the giveaway is here. Boom. Perfect. So, yeah, super excited. Have some news. My last post 2 days ago did a little podcast for 2026. Hopefully you want to adopt these mindsets, and we'll go over some news and, some of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, super excited about some of this stuff. And, yeah, and I'm super, super excited to kind of like go over some of these things. Yes, we're going to be using a random name picker. So right here, I'll be adding the names of the winner, of like people that want to win, and then we'll select one. There are 2 people that I found did not follow the rules on the Google form, and they have been disqualified. So higher odds for those people. And I also have a device that we will be doing live because nobody picked it. So I still want to give an opportunity to those of you who are live. The only requirement is I do need a U.S. address, unfortunately. Right now, shipping outside of the U.S. is not possible. So, cool. And we'll do Q&As. So, yeah. So let's start with some news. Give a few minutes, and then we kind of go over the extra stuff like, the drawing and that kind of stuff, right? So, yes. So I published this newsletter a few days ago. Tired of online 3 mindsets for digital minimalism or for a calm 2026. Mindset number 1, choose offline first. Mindset number 2, make offline memories. And mindset number 3, plan offline intentionally. I highly recommend that you take a look into this post and that you listen to it. I, produced it as a podcast, and I think it's pretty good. So hopefully you think so too, and that it helps you with 2026. Yeah, I'm really excited about 2026. Actually, we're going to go over some of the really nice devices that are coming. And we're going to start with some of my least favorite, and we're going to move to my most favorite, which is right here. So Punked MC03 is coming. And that's interesting. I think, it's something different. It's new. I'm kind of like, oh, okay, I'm interested to see how it all works out. Not necessarily know how it will all pan out, but news and new devices. Sorry, I'm updating the timestamps. But yeah, so I took a look into it, did a little bit of research. So the MC03 is on its way. It's going to be a smarter phone. That's what they're calling it. But it's going to be based out of the Gigaset devices. So Gigaset is a platform or a manufacturer in Germany, if I recall correctly. And they're European-built devices, which is a good thing, I think, for privacy reasons. So I'm kind of excited about that. And yeah, so they're partnering with this technology, right? So yeah, Munich, there it is. And then you have Punkt based in Switzerland. So they're, Punk's first made in Europe mobile device is expected to be launched in the fourth quarter of 2025. That didn't happen, so the MC03 is happening very soon in 2026. I just received an email to sign up for the kind of like the stuff, the early releases. I'm going to be putting links on the side so that you are able to kind of go and check that out too. So Punked MP03 waiting list, if you want to be notified of that, here on the side will be available. Yeah, super excited. It's kind of interesting to see Punked, being one of those companies that has created some really nice devices in the past, like the Punked MP02. I wish that they updated it more and that they actually released new features, but they never did. But then they went into the smartphone world, and now they're going into like half and half. So we'll see what they have to do. Okay, we'll close that. EcoMine 1, still on pre-order, still going to be happening. I've heard that there was a small delay, but, still interested about this device just because of the form factor. I think it's, kind of like interesting enough to be like, okay, we'll see how all pans out. So you can go and check it out. They also have this Mind case, the Snap case, which allows you to get a QWERTY keyboard on the device, which is always, I think, very interesting to me because it changes the form factor. It changes the usability of devices, right? The Zinwa Q25 full device is now being delivered. If you're on the Discord for this company, you're able to see that many people are getting theirs, and it's quite exciting, so it's very, very interesting. Also in the QWERTY space, this looks like a old QWERTY device. So yeah, they're getting a lot of updates and a lot of good things. You can join the Discord server right there at the top. I'll put a link so that you're able to find the Discord server pretty easily. So let's do that. Sidephone has released kind of like their final concepts for their device, and I'm actually going to be meeting up with them at CES. So CES is like a technology show here in the United States, happens every January. So now January 4, I'll be getting to Las Vegas and going there for about 2-3 days, where I will be finding some of this new technology that's happening. And I know that they'll be there, and the Mudita team will also be there. So I'll be chatting with them, about everything that is happening there. Don't expect too much content to come out of that for me. I'll probably do a few shorts or something like that. I'm taking a smartphone with me, so I'm able to record. But yeah, kind of like early impressions and that kind of stuff. But don't expect like a full video unless like I feel like, whoa, like this is really revolutionary, and I really think that it's going to change the game, and I really think that it's going to be necessary to do a full video right there and then to promote it or to kind of like make you aware of it. But yeah, don't expect tons of things out of that CES or my CES stint. I'll be there to kind of like understand and cover and have conversations, not necessarily to showcase all the things and do full videos on them. Like, I want to have them at home. I want to have them on the setup. I want to have them here where I get to explore their capabilities on a more control environment, more than like the advertising environment, because that's what CES is. It's essentially a consumer electronics show that gives you kind of like this understanding, right? Like this is like, hey, like it's an advertising show. Like, not everything that comes to CES gets actually released. So that's kind of important to me. But Sidephone, great product, and I'm really excited to see how it all pans out. But they have these 3 modules. They have the Play module that looks like an iPod. They have the normal T9, and then they have the QWERTY, but it's not fully QWERTY. It's like double click, double press. I personally, in my personal opinion, I would just go with this one, the T9. Just go with the regular one. If you want to try this one out, but I just don't think it's a good idea to do this predictive thing, with these symbols when you just have the ability to do so with one keyboard. So I personally prefer these 2 and not this one right here. This one I wouldn't recommend purchasing it. That's just my personal opinion, though. It's more complexity for the software to figure out what you want to do. And, right now they'll probably have to write a different engine. Whereas with this one right here, the nice thing about this one is that you have already apps that have been made for this operating system, the TT9 app, that are excellent. And, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, so to speak. So highly recommend that you guys just get the T9 regular. Don't really care about this one. I'll probably test it, but I'm not really, excited about it personally, right? So, hey, hello everyone. Yeah, I've seen some comments. So if you want to start piling up your questions, highly recommend that you do so now. As soon as you can. Let me see if I can lower this look a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Alrighty. So side phone, there it is. Okay, there's a device that is coming out, and I'm actually really excited about it. I want to kind of to alert some of you who are watching the live stream and are kind of like keeping up with the news and everything. And that's the AGM M11. I'm not really excited about the hardware. Like, it's not going to be like an amazing hardware or something like that. But the reason why I'm excited about this device is because it's coming with cloud apps. And I don't love everything about cloud apps. Let me start by saying that. The reason why is because it brings a lot of garbage as well into the world. Like, here are the social media apps, but you don't have to log in. These are not things that you have to use all the time. So I don't necessarily care for that stuff, but I think it's the first device that is, number one, that is going to bring cloud apps to the United States. So they have two versions. They have the US T-Mobile only version, and they have the rest of the world version. Right now they're running a 10% off. So this device is fairly affordable. That's about $89. And if you get the code, you are going to be talking about $80, right? So $80. But why am I excited about this device? And this goes in the news, right? Like in the news part of this live stream. The reason why I'm excited is, number one, is a fairly affordable device, right? So it's under $100. So that is already starting from a very, very good point of departure. We're talking about a device that is not too expensive, is not the most amazing, hardware that is going to be, but you have a good price, number one. Number two, you have Wi-Fi hotspot. That is something that, okay, you can pair this device with something like a tablet, or you can pair this device with something that is maybe, like smarter, like a laptop, right? And then you have cloud phone apps. And cloud phone apps, the reason why I'm excited is because opening it up to the United States means that now we have developers that are going to start looking into this platform more robustly. And let me go to the cloud phone website. But the cloud phone website, let me see, where is, not this one. This one explains how it is, but cloud phone, I know one of the developers, or I don't know what his position is anymore. So Thomas, he is the main person for, kind of like the cloud phone operating system, which is based upon Puffin OS or Puffin OS. So here are some of the things that he has been building. Maybe there are tutorials here. Developer, cloud phone for developers. Okay, so web apps for feature phones. This is why I'm excited about it, because web apps are very easy to build, and these devices are extremely affordable. So you have the best of both worlds. You have something that is very easy to build, something that is already on a standard, right? Like a web standard. And the phone is essentially just accessing it in a friendly format. So I think this is where you have tons of promise, right? So you have something like, let's go here to this design right here. You have, for example, checking up the scores. Boom, right there you have it. You have Wikipedia. You have, the ability to get weather. So when a lot of people, and I've made videos about this. I mean, here is kind of like more explanation on the developer side, right? Of how to create some of the icons and stuff like that. But whenever we have a very easy platform to develop, now we have the ability to, or there are no excuses as to, does this work on this device? One of the main hurdles that we have right now on the dumbphone market is you either have dumbphones like Cat S22, right? So you have a Cat S22 device like this that has access to all of the applications, right? But in a cumbersome format and is not accessible or not cheap enough. Or something like the Xiaomi Chin F25, which I did a review just a month ago on it. Nice device, about $150, but it's overpowered, right? Like, you have all of the Android things and the browser, and it can get distracting. Whereas something with the cloud phone, you can create very highly specific apps based on the web, and you don't have to spend a lot of resources to make sure that it fits with the width of the screen, or that it works on this specific device, or what if it doesn't have a touchscreen? Here, you're loading the web, like just the regular internet. And by loading the regular internet, now you have access in multiple formats and at multiple price points. So another example of this is the recently released the HMD Touch 4G, which I have been trying to get my hands on. It's in India. It's an Indian phone, or only released so far in India, and it's touch enabled, right? And it has this app called Express Chat, which I'm actually really, really interested in because it can be a replacement for WhatsApp, because it's also available on, iOS and Android, but you can use it on your dumb phone. So now we're starting to get to that merging point where this device is very inexpensive, but a device like this one is even further more inexpensive because it doesn't have a full touchscreen, right? And you have Wi-Fi hotspot, you have LTE, you have the cloud apps, and hopefully is filled with more maybe more useful apps than what we are seeing here. Like, this screen sucks. Like, you have a podcasting app, great. Then you have video, all social media, terrible. And then I think this is Google Gemini, right? So we will find ways to restrict, right? Like the availability of apps. I don't want all of these apps. I only want the podcasting app. I want this chat app, whatever that is. I want the BBC, and I want the weather. And I think those things are good, whereas a lot of the kind of like possibilities are opening up, right? So for example, right now, this is a KaiOS device. This is the TCL Flip 4G or 5G, whatever it is. And this one right here is great. It's a very inexpensive device. It costs maybe about $79 in the US, depending on where you buy it. But the problem is that no developer is going to touch this because it's hard to code. It's hard to, I had to re-engineer the platform. I had to conform to the KaiOS standard, which sucks most of the time for developers. But this one is based on HTML, which I think is going to create, so for example, maps. There you go. One of the biggest hurdles for people is like, okay, how am I going to connect to my maps? And all of a sudden you have maps on this cloud because it's not running on the device, it's running on the web. So it's just like a Google Maps search, right? So it's easier to figure it out. And it's cross-compatible, not with one phone, and you don't have to worry about the processing power of that one phone, but because it's running in the cloud, you have the ability to, again, you have all of these devices. I mean, literally look at all of these. One style diamond, right? Like, this device is definitely not powerful at all, literally. But then you have AGM M11, you have HMD Touch, you have this Yas Wi-Fi in Madagascar. look at this one, Frog Pocket. Come on, like what is this? Like you are opening up all of these different devices that to different regions and essentially presenting a standardized version of the web, which I love. Like I think this is what we need. Unecto Snap, perfect right there for cloud apps, right? So you have the HMD devices, and I mean, there is way more, and you can go by region. I mean, look at all of these regions. And then in the US, you have these, but these Cloud OS apps have not yet been developed, which this, I think, the AGM M11 is the first device that is, number one, being targeted by what I will say, a serious company that has been out there for a little while developing some of these phones and creating a platform or partnering with this platform of the cloud phones to make sure that it works in the United States. So opening the US market to the cloud phone service, opening the AGM ships out of Europe, opening the European market to this so that it's easily accessible. Right now we have had to, I literally had to get a US compatible cloud phone device. I did a review on this. Sorry, it's a little cold. I think I did a review on this a year and a half ago, and I had to literally contact the company and be like, hey, can you send me a Wi-Fi enabled cloud OS device so that I can try it out and showcase it? And then, they got it to me through whichever way, but it was very difficult, right? But now having a company shipping it around the world to most of the regions, I think is going to be excellent. So I know that was a little long, but I think that it really is going to be helpful because it's not KaiOS and it's not Android. So we already are getting a little bit more private in that way, right? It's not targeted by the advertiser ID. Now, Cloud Phone has its own issues. Yes, I think it's important to acknowledge that. I think it's important to come to terms with that yes, this has its own issues and we need to deal with those issues, right? So for example, do not build something that has email in here. Why? Well, it's running on the cloud. If you put your credentials out there in a server somewhere, definitely not good. But for utilities, things that are not super important or sensitive, right? So extremely sensitive, that is, for example, podcasts. Okay, yeah, I load my account. Who cares what podcast I listen to? Not really important. I'm not giving any personally identifiable information that people can exploit, right? Or maybe it is listening to or looking into chat apps. Chat apps is a little bit more, okay, well, what are we actually accomplishing here? Maybe this can run on its own container. So when it comes to security, when it comes to some of these things on the cloud, yes, I do have some concerns, and we're going to talk about them once I get the device and once I get to review it. But I think it's a major leap for the sub $100 space that you're going to have more utilities without having to deal with all of the kind of tracking and privacy and things and all of the other distractions that Android apps do bring into the equation. Also, battery life. That's another big thing. This is a massive battery, 4,000 milliamps. Removable battery, but I'm really excited to see how long it lasts and how it works. Cool. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. Maybe an introduction to cloud phone apps for some of you. But yeah, we're going to kind of take a look into it. If you have any questions, make sure to put them in the comments right now. And we'll be doing 2 drawings right now, and then we'll going to be doing, or maybe 3, and then we'll do the live drawing for that device that nobody picked, and then we will do the final Q&A and then final drawing. Okay, time for the Wheel of Names. We're going to start with the most popular device that most people selected. It is the Jelly Star. So Jelly Star all the way over here. Perfect. All right. So we'll see who wins the Jelly Star. This is a gently used Jelly Star, by the way. It's not brand new. I try to give away brand new when I have the possibility, but all of these are gently used. I think probably the Jelly Star is the most not gently used, but I think most of you will be fine with that. Let me make sure I get all the names. All the names right here. Yes. This is the one that had the most people. Boom, right there. There you go. And we're going to click to spin. We'll see who wins. All right. This was 34 entries. And we have... All right. We have Read That Damn 0819. That's the username. I will be contacting this person. We're going to run the wheel one more time. Just in case this, actually, I'm going to run it 2 more times so that if this person doesn't send me their address in a timely fashion, which is by January 3, then I'm going to the next winner. And the next winner, we're going to take his name out because he already won. And we're going to do it again. Let me put something that I can lock. So let's see. That guy won. And we are going to see, we're going to put this in green. His name in green on the thing that I need to put in. Perfect. And then we'll be going, okay, so who won? Okay, this Orsted Lord of Dark, I think. Yes. Okay, we'll remove him. That is a second possible winner. So if by January 3 I haven't heard, then I will choose this person. And then there you go. And then one last one, just because I know this was a very popular device. So we're going to do one more time. SMEC or SMEEK. There you go. That's the third person that maybe will, I mean, he will have to wait for another person to not send me an email. That'll be very unlikely. Usually by the second person, I have somebody. And by the way, this is what I do with every giveaway. So just FYI, I do this with every giveaway. I go into this website and I input it. And then I'm like, okay, like this person won. I just wanted to do this live today because it's a little bit, like, because it's, so I do one winner and 2 backups all the time, because like, sometimes people don't contact me and I'm like, okay, well, it is what it is. Yeah. Cool. All right. Next person or next phone that was the most popular is the Kyocera Dura XV. And that's where I found, TIC Mini M5. So TIC Mini M5. So the TIC Mini M5, very nice device. I do like it. I just wish they did more updates. And this is where we had 2 disqualifications due to entering too many times. Let's just put it that way. I try to, kind of like run some things. I don't know. I try to make sure that people have a fair shot. So, yeah. All right. I think everyone's ready. Hopefully. All right. Let's do it. And let's do it. We have, for the TIC Mini M5, Chloe Zhang. All right. Cool. She is the first one to be chosen. Chloe, congratulations. If you reply, that is, you have until January 3 to send me an email with your address. Let's do the next one. Let's remove Chloe. All right. Carter. Yeah, I think we got Carter. Remove. And then one more. Carter. Perfect. probably start doing these. Just it's kind of fun, right? And last one. Yalix AMD. All right, cool. There you go. All righty, that's third. So, all righty. If those two people do not reply, you are in line. So hopefully that gives you some stay tuned kind of a thing, you know. So, all right, now we're going with the Kyocera Durex V. Then we'll take maybe a little break. If there are any questions, and if not, we'll go over. All right, Kyocera Durex V. Let's do it. H41694J. All righty, that's the first winner. I was just chatting with sometimes these ones that don't have a thing. I'm like, I don't know if they're real people. Sometimes maybe a bot or whatever. That's why I always get 2 backups. All right, next backup or backup person. Jabberbox. All right, that's the backup person. Jabberbox. I think he is on the stream. I think Jabber, you are on the stream. So you know whether now you know. So you're waiting. You're first in line if the person doesn't contact me. So we'll take you out now. Do it again. This is the last one. Rodrigo RV. There you go. That's the last person for the right here. Perfect. All right. So stay tuned. Anything could happen. All righty. Cool. All right. We'll give it a break. There you go. And let's go to questions. Okay, cool. All righty. Let's see some questions. Shlomi says, can I win the light phone? Not at this time. There's no light phone to be given away. We will be doing a light phone giveaway at some point in time, but this is not the time. So, yeah. Alex says, hello, I bought the Mudita Compact a few weeks ago and I love it. Thanks for all the videos. You're welcome. Try to be helpful. All right, Nokia 2780, some switchers. That's good. That's a decent device. I do like it. It's pretty affordable too, you know. So it does work for a lot of things. All right. Freddy says, any news about the AGM M11? Yes, I talked about it. Hopefully you caught some of that. But when it comes to release time, it's coming now in January. So January 12, January 15, around that time, mid-January is when they're going to start shipping them. So I'm really excited to see it. Yeah, super excited about that. Okay, let's continue. I was going to buy the TCL Flip 4G, 45G from Metro since it's their only flip phone, but it didn't end up getting it because it runs KaiOS. Yes, very difficult. MP03, yes, we talked about the punked mud. So if you want to go back to news, to that section, you can like scroll it there. I think it's the first device that I talked about. Okay. Artheg. Do you happen to know if Mudita is going to do any hardware updates to the compact anytime soon? Want to buy the compact but don't want to miss out on anything. Thank you. No, there's no hardware updates happening as far as I know. But I can ask this question to the team in a few days. So you can reach out to me via email, via Reddit, and I will be at CES, which is a Consumer Electronics Show. They'll be there, and I can ask them this question directly. I'm like, hey, do you have any hardware updates? You know, and like sometimes there's minor revisions and that kind of stuff. So I think it's very important that you have the answer. So if you want to reach out on Reddit or... Is this working? Is my mic working? Hello, hello, hello. Okay, let's see. Wow. All right, so it's working now, but okay, it's not showing me that it's working, but I don't know. Ah, man, this is weird. Okay, let's see. Hello, can you hear me? I cannot even hear myself. This one. All right, so it's working. Yes, it's working, but I see that I cannot showcase my screen, right? Okay, I'm trying to go back to my screen, but it's not working. All right. Yes, I know you can hear me. I actually tried to play myself and it's working, but the problem is now that I don't have. Okay, let me close some of these tabs. Maybe Brave is being a little bit hungry on RAM. Let's do that. Maybe that will be helpful. Hopefully. Yeah, there's a lot of lag or something going on my. Let me see if I can go into. Let's go to general. No, no, everything is fine here. Even my RAM is fine. Okay. Well, we're going to have to figure it out. This is so odd. Never has. I mean, I don't think this bad has ever happened. It got frozen again. The program got frozen. Okay, let me just check. Can I grab this? Gotta close this. Gotta close Brave. I'm gonna open this in a private window so that it's not. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart Streamlabs desktop. Is there a way that I can configure this on the? We're gonna do the next part of the of the live stream on the other side. Okay, I'm going to restart. We're gonna start again. So I'll be closing this in just a second. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to close this and restart it. Clearly, it's not wanting to cooperate.